Hello, I'm Jackson, and this is my report. So I am doing the Amazon tree boa, which I'm not freehandling him for the reason that you'd probably guessed by now that he's not the friendliest of all snakes. So I have a firm grip on him, not hurting him, of course, but you know, so they are an arboreal species of snake, so they're also not the smartest tack in the box. So what they'll do is, rather than a green tree python or an emerald tree boa, which are their cousins, that will just kind of wrap around like one wooden perch or one branch, these guys will actually like have their tail up here and like have their head down here and, you know, their body somewhere in between. And they just kind of like to climb like that. Like I said, they don't really use their resources all that well, but, you know, or I guess that they do, because they like to use as much as possible. But anyway, so this is a gorgeous species of snake, and they come in multiple different morphs and colors. This is a hypo, 65% normal, and the other percentage is hypo. I mean, that's what I've been able to identify. There's something hypo in it, but I don't know the rest. This specific snake was wild caught, and he is just a sweetheart. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think he's bluff striked, which for those of you who do not know what a bluff strike is, so a strike is when a snake can either tag you, which is where they basically like leave their mark with their two teeth. A grasp is where they is where they catch you and then they hang on for fair amount of time. And then the last one is a constrict, and that is, you know, the ones that you see in the movies or the videos that, you know, it, you know, kind of just strikes and then, you know, curls up. So this is a boa constrictor. They, for the reason that they do not like to, you know, ground dwell, you know, they'll kind of hunt or fish. So they'll kind of hang from their little whippy tail here, and they'll go on the trees. Okay, sweetheart, I know. You don't appreciate this. But so what they'll do is they'll hang from that tail, and then they'll literally just try to, like, you know, catch their prey like that. And that is an awesome little fact about them, just because, you know, normally when you hear boa, you think of the constricting. So I'm just going to put him back right now. Okay, so that was the Amazon tree boa. He was kind of maneuvering his way out of my fingers, which was quite a odd sensation. But so like I said, it's really quite extraordinary. So what they'll do is they'll sit on their perch by their tail, or, you know, a branch or whatever, you know, they would be on in the wild, and then they'd kind of like fish around and just kind of, you know, lurk into wherever, just lower than the branch that they're currently on. And then they'll just try to find, small rodents. Really not too much small rodents in the rainforest. However, there would be more of amphibians or reptilian creatures that guy would be, perfectly happy to eat. Seemed like it was perfectly happy to eat my hand. But, so, another thing that people say is that they are venomous or poisonous. Well, there's only one or two poisonous snakes, and I believe that they're actually sea snakes. The difference is that you need to ingest a poisonous substance, animal, whatever, for it to have any harm to you. But let's say that if that was a venomous snake and it bit me, then it's like injected almost into you, and you don't necessarily need to eat the snake, but you just need to have it. You just need a bite from it in order to be in great danger. Now that snake is not a venomous snake. Yes, so that is not a venomous snake. They have a mildly toxic saliva that almost acts like a venom, but it's almost like a western hognose snake, if you know anything about them. They can bite you, and they're rear-fanged, but they're considered rear-fanged venomous. If you're allergic to a bee sting, you swell up. If you're not, it's a bee sting. However, it's the same thing with them and the western hognose snake. So what these guys actually do is they will, again, more or less, kind of fish for their food, and then they will wrap around it. But unlike some other boas or pythons or, other constrictor snakes, how they will grab their food and then they'll just, bring it in super quick. This guy actually almost immediately, grabs a hold of it and then slowly wraps around it. Almost like a reticulated python. It almost reminds me of the Jungle Book, where the snake is wrapping itself slowly yet surely, around the child. Same thing with those guys. I don't believe I'm keeping anything out. These guys live in South America, the rainforests in South America, which are quite plentiful. Like I said, just like their cousins, the emerald tree boa and the green tree python, they are arboreal snakes, so they will not, you won't see them on the forest floor. So they would be in one of the higher levels of the rainforest. They do not like anything messing with them, touching them, anything. I ordered this guy online, and he came in, and he was in a pillowcase. And, of course, I didn't go, right in and scoop him out, but I was a little nervous. And I must say, I should not have been as nervous as I was, because this guy is just, puppy dog tame. If you have any questions, you can ask me, alrighty, thank you.